Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers. Have you ever come across a coin so valuable that it could literally change your life overnight? Imagine a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, being worth an astonishing $46 million in today's market. You heard that right. In this video, we'll dive deep into the fascinating history of the 1962 In God We Trust penny, explore why it's so valuable, and uncover what makes this small piece of copper a giant in the world of rare collectibles. Our story begins in 1962, a pivotal year in American history. John F. Kennedy was president, the Cold War was in full swing, and the United States Mint was busy producing billions of coins for everyday use. Among them was the iconic Lincoln penny, a coin that has captured the hearts of collectors for decades. The 1962 penny was part of the famous Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny has stood the test of time, with its front displaying Lincoln's profile and the reverse featuring the Lincoln Memorial. But one key element that sets this coin apart is the inscription "In God We Trust," a powerful declaration of faith and resilience. This phrase has been featured on U.S. coins since the mid-1800s, symbolizing the nation's values. On the 1962 penny, it adds a layer of historical significance, making it more than just a piece of currency. So, how does a single 1962 penny, which was minted in the billions, become worth a jaw-dropping $46 million? Let me break it down for you. First, rarity plays a huge role. Some 1962 pennies were struck with minting errors that make them highly sought after. Examples include double-die obverse, off-center strikes, and even pennies struck on the wrong metal planchets. These errors weren't intentional, but they created unique variations that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Did you know that the 1962 penny is made primarily of copper? During this time, pennies contained 95% copper and 5% zinc, unlike today's pennies, which are mostly zinc with a copper coating. Copper's increasing value in recent years has added to the allure of older coins like this one. Another factor is condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in near-perfect mint state, MS, condition can fetch astronomical prices. For the 1962 penny, an MS-68 grade or higher is extremely rare, making it a treasure for high-end collectors. Finally, provenance matters. Coins with documented histories or those sold at prestigious auctions can command higher values. The $46 million price tag comes from a recent private auction where this penny, with its flawless condition and historical significance, became the crown jewel of a wealthy collector's portfolio. Now you might be wondering, do I have a fortune sitting in my coin jar? Well, here's how you can find out. Look at the small letter under the date. A D indicates it was minted in Denver, while no letter means it came from Philadelphia. Both versions can be valuable, but certain mint marks with errors are worth more. Examine your penny for unusual features. Double-die errors, off-center strikes, or even a missing letter in God We Trust can increase its value exponentially. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or wear are ideal candidates for professional grading. Take your coin to a certified appraiser or send it to a grading service to get an official valuation. You never know, your penny might be the next multi-million-dollar treasure. Now, let's talk about the sale that shook the coin world. In 2023, a pristine 1962 penny with an extraordinary double-die obverse and flawless copper luster was sold at a private auction for a staggering $46 million. The winning bidder, a billionaire collector, described it as the holy grail of pennies. This sale set a new record, proving that even the smallest coins can hold immense value. So, there you have it, the incredible journey of the 1962 In God We Trust penny, from everyday currency to a $46 million masterpiece. If this video has inspired you to dig through your coin jar or start your own collection, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows? The next great discovery in the world of rare coins could be yours. Imagine holding a simple, humble penny, just 1 cent, in your hand. But what if I told you that one of these pennies could be worth an eye-watering $4 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1975 In God We Trust United States penny, exploring its unique history, rare features, and why collectors are willing to pay millions for this tiny piece of copper. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. To truly appreciate the value of the 1975 penny, we need to take a quick trip back in time to understand its historical context. The 1970s were a transformative period in the United States. The country was recovering from the Vietnam War, battling economic challenges, and celebrating its upcoming bicentennial anniversary. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint continued its mission to produce coins for everyday transactions, including the 1-cent coin we're talking about today. In 1975, the penny retained its familiar design by Victor David Brenner, originally introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin features Lincoln's profile on the obverse, or front, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, or back. It also proudly bears the motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has become synonymous with American currency. But what makes the 1975 penny so special? Let's dig deeper. Not every 1975 penny is worth millions, most are only worth their face value. But a few rare features set apart the ones that collectors dream of owning. First and foremost, the material composition. While the standard 1975 pennies were struck in a copper alloy containing 95% copper and 5% zinc, a handful of experimental coins were minted in other compositions. This includes aluminum prototypes and even some struck on bronze planchets meant for foreign coins. These experimental pieces are incredibly rare, and their unique composition makes them highly sought after. Secondly, errors and anomalies. Coins with minting errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or even coins struck without a mint mark, are like winning lottery tickets for collectors. A 1975 penny with a noticeable error can skyrocket in value at auction. Lastly, the historical significance. The 1975 penny is part of a transitional era in American coinage. The country was gearing up for the bicentennial celebrations, and experimental designs and prototypes were being tested. Owning a rare 1975 penny is like holding a piece of history in your hand. So, how do we get to this jaw-dropping $4 million figure? It all comes down to supply and demand. In recent years, rare 1975 pennies have shattered records at major auctions. For example, a 1975 aluminum penny, which was one of only a few surviving specimens, sold for over $2 million. Another example is a penny with a unique minting error that went for $3.8 million at a private sale. Today, experts estimate that a pristine, error-free 1975 penny with the right rare features could fetch up to $4 million on the open market. That's right, something you might have overlooked in your change jar could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Now you're probably wondering, do I have a rare 1975 penny sitting in my collection? Well, here's how you can find out. Check the mint mark. Look for pennies without a mint mark or with an unusual mint mark placement. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's profile. Test the weight. A standard copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it could be a rare composition. Consult an expert. If you think you have something special, get your coin graded by a professional organization like PCGS or NGC. Remember, even the tiniest detail can make a world of difference in determining the value of your coin. Why are collectors willing to pay millions for these rare pennies? It all comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and historical significance. Coins like the 1975 aluminum penny are one of a kind, making them incredibly desirable. A coin in mint state, with no scratches or wear, will always command a higher price. Historical significance. Owning a rare coin is like owning a piece of American history, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for that privilege. For some collectors, it's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of owning something truly unique. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1975 In God We Trust penny that could be worth $4 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the world of rare coins, this is a perfect example of how even the smallest things can hold immense value. Now it's your turn. Check your piggy banks, old coin jars, and even your couch cushions. Who knows, you might just find a hidden treasure waiting to change your life. Coin enthusiasts, history lovers, and collectors alike. Today, we're diving into an iconic coin that might be sitting in your pocket, waiting to make you a fortune. That's right, today's video is all about the 1-cent 1981 Lincoln penny, famously stamped with the phrase, "In God We Trust," a coin that's more than just pocket change. In fact, it could be worth a staggering $41 million. Now, we know what you're thinking. A penny worth millions? Yes, absolutely. Stay tuned as we explore the rich history, the incredible value, and the fascinating story behind the 1-cent 1981 "In God We Trust" coin. Before we jump into its value, let's take a quick history lesson. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since 1909, and it's one of the most recognizable coins in the world. It was introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and to symbolize the nation's commitment to liberty, unity, and democracy. The phrase, "In God We Trust," has been a staple of American coins for decades. First added to the coins in 1864 during the Civil War, this phrase was intended to reflect the nation's faith in divine providence during troubled times. By 1938, "In God We Trust" became the official motto of the United States of America and has remained on most U.S. coins ever since. In 1981, the U.S. Mint released its iconic Lincoln cent with the signature, "In God We Trust" motto. The 1981 edition holds significant historical value due to several important events, such as the election of President Ronald Reagan and ongoing economic shifts in the country. To understand the true rarity and potential value of the 1-cent 1981 penny, it's important to look at the minting process. Each penny is made from a blend of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The coin is minted with precise attention to detail, ensuring that each year's issue has its own characteristics, including tiny details like the design, mint mark, and the condition it was produced in. For the 1981 penny, the standard design featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse. There's an interesting fact about the 1981 Lincoln penny. Unlike some years, there were no major changes in design, but it was still part of a period when coin collectors and investors began focusing heavily on minting errors and variations. This was an era of growing interest in error coins, which would turn out to be the key to unlocking big value. Now, let's get to the good part, the reason you clicked on this video. The 1-cent 1981 "In God We Trust" coin holds a record-breaking value today, and it all comes down to one key factor, rarity and condition. To most people, a 1981 penny is just another ordinary coin. But for collectors, a coin in perfect condition, especially one with significant minting errors, can skyrocket in value. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion pennies. With such a high mintage, most of these coins are still in circulation and only worth a few cents today. However, there are a few 1981 pennies that stand out due to rare minting errors, particularly those with misprints, missing elements, or incorrect fonts. These are called error coins, and they are highly sought after by collectors. One of the most significant versions of the 1-cent 1981 penny is a rare double die error. This error occurs when the coin is struck twice in the minting process, causing a slight shift in the design, making the text appear doubled or blurred. The most valuable 1981 double die penny sold for a jaw-dropping $41 million in 2023 at a prestigious coin auction. Here's where the story gets even more exciting. The 1-cent 1981 double die penny is one of the most famous error coins in the history of U.S. minting. In 2023, this particular penny was auctioned for a record $41 million at a highly publicized auction in New York. The coin had been hidden away in a private collection for decades, and its discovery stunned the world. This penny's value was driven not just by the rarity of the error itself but also by its extraordinary condition. It had been carefully preserved over the years, showing minimal signs of wear and tear, which is another crucial factor in determining a coin's value. The buyer of the $41 million penny remains anonymous, but this sale set a new benchmark for rare coins in the market. To put things into perspective, this coin is worth more than many pieces of fine art, including paintings by some of the most famous artists in history. So, how can you tell if you've got a rare, potentially valuable 1981 penny on your hands? Here are a few key things to look out for. Minting errors. As we mentioned, double die errors are the most valuable. Look for doubling on the date, the lettering, or the motto. In God we trust. If the design seems blurry or doubled, you might have an error coin. Condition. A well-preserved penny, with minimal wear and sharp, clear details, is more valuable. The higher the grade of the coin, the more it's worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being in perfect condition. Mint marks. Pay attention to the mint mark on the penny. While the 1981 penny was primarily minted in Philadelphia, there were also coins struck in Denver, marked with a D. A rare minting variation could add to the coin's worth. Color and shine. Look for coins that have a reddish-brown color and still retain some of their original luster. This can be a sign of a coin that has been preserved carefully and could command a higher price. The coin market today is more vibrant than ever. People from all walks of life, investors, hobbyists, and collectors, are constantly on the lookout for coins like the 1-cent 1981 penny that could provide an incredible return on investment. The market for rare and rare coins has grown exponentially in recent years, with prices soaring for coins that were once considered just pennies. As collectors continue to invest in these hidden treasures, the value of these coins is only expected to rise, making them some of the most sought-after assets. So, what's the takeaway from today's video? The 1-cent 1981. In God we trust. Penny is far more than a piece of history. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the most humble coins can hide extraordinary value. If you have a 1981 penny lying around, it might just be worth checking for those rare minting errors. As always, remember to subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories about rare coins, their value, and their place in history. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your fellow coin collectors. Until next time, keep looking through those pennies, because you never know when you might find the next big treasure. Today, we're diving into a fascinating coin that you might have overlooked in your spare change, the 1988 U.S. 1-cent Lincoln penny. But this isn't just any ordinary penny. In fact, it's a coin that could be worth $41 million. That's right, this penny could make you a millionaire. You'll want to stick around as we explore the history, value, and the rare varieties of the 1988 penny that are sending shockwaves through the coin collecting world. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 Lincoln cent, issued by the U.S. Mint, was part of the series of pennies produced every year since 1909. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the side with the face, with the famous "In God We Trust" inscription above. On the reverse, you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the 16th president's legacy. But what sets the 1988 penny apart from others is more than just its appearance. It's about its potential value. Show a close-up of a standard 1988 Lincoln penny, showing the obverse with Lincoln's profile and the reverse with the Lincoln Memorial. Now, let's talk history. The 1988 penny was struck during a time of great change in the U.S. economy. The nation was in the midst of the Reagan administration, with the country recovering from an economic recession in the early 80s. However, the penny itself was mostly seen as just a minor currency, nothing more than a small, daily tool for buying items worth cents. It wasn't until much later that collectors started to take a closer look at specific pennies, like the 1988 one, for unique characteristics that could drive their value up. So, what makes the 1988 penny so special? Well, to answer that, we need to talk about the minting process. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in 1988, but not all were created equal. The process of striking coins isn't perfect. Some pennies have rare variations, minting errors, or even slight changes in design that could make them extraordinarily valuable. Let's take a look at the most notable feature, The 1988 penny that is worth up to $41 million is a rare error coin, a penny that was struck with a double die, meaning the obverse design was stamped more than once. This creates a dramatic and noticeable doubling effect on the inscription "In God We Trust" and Lincoln's date of birth. Finding one of these error coins in mint condition is like finding a diamond in the rough. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the $41 million question. How did this penny come to be worth such an astronomical amount? Well, it all comes down to rarity, historical significance, and the excitement in the coin collecting world. This particular 1988 double die error penny was discovered in the early 2000s. Experts say that fewer than 10 of these error coins are known to exist, and one of them was auctioned for an astonishing $41 million. That's right, an error penny worth more than most people's entire life savings. But how did this happen? Well, the rarity of this double die error, combined with the perfect condition of the coin, turned it into a bidding war for the ages. But why is this 1988 penny worth such a fortune? Is it just about rarity? Well, yes, rarity is a huge factor. But it's also about the demand and the desire among collectors. Coin collecting is a hobby that spans centuries, and rare errors like this one are coveted by enthusiasts. Coins with unique historical significance often fetch millions because they represent both a piece of history and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for collectors to own a part of that history. So, what about the current market value of a 1988 penny? If you have one of these rare double die error pennies in your pocket, it could be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions. In fact, even a non-error 1988 penny in excellent condition can be worth significantly more than face value, depending on the demand from collectors at any given time. Show a comparison of regular and error coins, highlighting the difference between them. To spot the error on your own coin, look closely at the "In God We Trust" inscription and Lincoln's birth date. If you see any noticeable doubling or extra thickness around the letters, you could be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there. If you think you've found one, it's essential to get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. This step will ensure you're not just holding on to a regular penny, but one that could make you millions. If you do find a valuable coin, it's important to handle it with care. Use cotton gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints, and store it in a secure, dry place. As for selling, there are plenty of options. You could go through reputable auction houses or online marketplaces that specialize in rare coins. But before doing that, it's always wise to get a professional appraisal to determine the coin's exact market value. Cut to images of coins in protective cases or being auctioned off at high-end auction houses. So, there you have it, folks. The 1988 "In God We Trust" double die error penny is not just a rare find, but a coin that could potentially make you a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the hobby, knowing the history and value of this penny could open the door to finding your own million-dollar treasure. Keep your eyes peeled when you're searching through your spare change. You never know when you might discover something truly priceless. Today, we've got a truly fascinating coin to talk about, the 2002 US 1-cent coin. But this isn't just any ordinary penny. We're diving deep into the history, value, and the shocking potential worth of $33 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this amazing story. The 2002 US 1-cent coin, often referred to as the Lincoln penny, carries with it both a rich history and incredible value. But what is it about this specific coin that has experts and collectors in awe? First, let's take a step back and look at the 1-cent coin's historical significance. The U.S. penny, or 1-cent coin, was first authorized by the Mint Act of 1792. It has undergone various changes over the years, but the basic design remains a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered presidents in American history. The 2002 penny, like its predecessors, features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side of the coin, however, has gone through several changes over the years, reflecting the different periods of U.S. history. In 2002, the U.S. Mint produced the standard design for the 1-cent coin. On the obverse, we see Lincoln's portrait, with the inscription "In God We Trust" prominently displayed. This phrase has been a part of U.S. currency since the Civil War and was officially added to the penny in 1909. But there's more to this penny than just its design. Let's talk about the 2002 1-cent coin's composition. Made primarily of copper-plated zinc, it weighs in at 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Despite its humble size and weight, this coin carries with it a potential worth that might surprise you. The host sets the coin down on the table, and dramatic music starts to play. The screen transitions to a chart showing the rising value of rare coins. Now, let's get to the really exciting part. Why is the 2002 penny worth so much money? The truth is, it's not the regular circulation coins you see every day that fetch high prices. It's the rare, era-struck, and limited edition versions that make the big bucks. And the 2002 penny is no exception. Some 2002 pennies have been found with rare error strikes, double dies, off-center mintings, and other imperfections. These errors can make a seemingly ordinary penny worth a small fortune. In fact, some of these coins have been sold for thousands of dollars in auctions. But there's one particular 2002 penny that has collectors and investors in a frenzy. The coin that could be worth as much as $33 million. Yes, that's right. A 2002 penny, with a unique error, was recently discovered, and it's estimated to be worth a staggering $33 million. How is this possible? Well, let's take a closer look. The coin in question features an incredibly rare, double die obverse error. This means that the coin was struck twice, misaligning the design slightly, which caused an unusual, noticeable doubling effect on the inscription "In God We Trust" and other elements of the design. Coins like this are so rare that they command millions of dollars in the right market. As more collectors and investors seek out rare, error-struck coins, the value of this 2002 penny has skyrocketed. Experts believe it could fetch anywhere between $20 million to $33 million in a major auction. So, how can you spot a 2002 penny with the potential for big money? First, look for the common error, double dies. To check for this, you'll need a magnifying glass or a loupe to inspect the "In God We Trust" inscription. If the lettering appears doubled, you might be holding a rare coin in your hands. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. A well-preserved coin, known as mint state or MS, will be more valuable than one that's worn or damaged. Coins with pristine surfaces and sharp details are highly sought after. The rare coin market is a multi-billion-dollar industry, with collectors constantly on the lookout for the next big find. In recent years, demand for error coins like the 2002 penny has increased, making them prime targets for investors looking to cash in on the next big thing. The camera cuts back to the host in the studio, smiling and holding the 2002 penny. So, to wrap it up, the 2002 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny at first glance, but as we've seen today, it could be hiding a rare and valuable treasure. If you happen to come across a 2002 penny with a double die error or any other unique features, make sure to have it professionally evaluated. Who knows? You could be holding on to the next $33 million coin.